Well, that was easy. To whoever found this holotape, I would like to welcome you to Reciever. Reciever is a game made in 1 week by Wolfire Games and released on Steam on 2012. In Reciever you will partake in the following activities: cassette hunting in oniric buildings, really intricate gun controls, and drones. Lots and lots of drones. Why are we talking about the first game, and not the better under every aspect sequel? So how pretty is a 1 week project? Location you visit are often empty of everything, stepping the whole experience in uncanny valley territories. So the poly count ain't one of the highest, but at least the gun animation are on point, with various moving parts like the slide, the hammer and the cylinder perfectly working. The sound department is barren as the poly count, guns go and drones go. There is only one music track, but this has a more function than being just background noise. It acts as an audio cue for enemies and tapes. Usually starts really calm, and if it gets more intense, it means there are threats lying around. If the Mongolian throat singing is lapped into the mix, there is a tape to pick up somewhere around. Speaking of tapes, the main goal of Receiver is to pick up 11 tapes. These are for the most lore dump on what is happening and why you are here in this low-poly Jungle-teckno 5 the Deepside 1998 apartment complex. You start off in a safe area, where you can fiddle around with your gun and negligently discharge a bullet, because you forgot to check your chamber after removing a magazine. Control-wise, you have a lot of controls all over the keyboard. With this you can manually rack your slide fully, or only by half to check if around this chamber, engage and disengage the safety, decock the hammer, holstering your gun to load or remove ammunition in your magazines, and while firing the weapon. Learning the controls on the keyboard doesn't take too much, but building up the muscle memory to do everything efficiently can take a bit. You are encouraged into learning the gun mechanism as much as you like. Sometimes you will not have too much time for reloading a gun, so learning when and what to press to not screw a reload can be crucial. Once you are more confident with your firearms, you can actually start playing. So where do we go? As said before, your objective are 11 tapes, but this will not be easy. While the places you explore are lacking of human life, you will meet two types of drones, a flying one and a sentry one. And they are relentless in wanting you dead. If you ever played a Resident Evil before, it's better to be conservative and destroy only things that are actually obstructing your path, while circumventing the other threats whenever possible. Ammo can be scarce at first, so making every shot count and keeping in mind how many rounds you have left in the gun is important. Always, constantly, obsessively press G whenever you are exploring. Outside of tapes, throughout the area, you can find loose bullets. Bullets are your lifeblood, and you must scavenge them as much as you can. Sometimes, no matter the caution you take, you will be taken off guard and waste ammo. One, it is all it takes to die and to get angrily sent back to start. Drones aren't invincible though. Drones are different components that can be hit to either completely disable or incapacitate them. However, depending on where you hit, you still might not be safe. Drones can be shot down from the air, but if their battery is still working, you might get zapped if you get too close. And sure, you can disable the turret motor, but if you pass in front of his line of sight, it will still open fire on you. But sometimes, no matter how many bullets I have dumped on a robot, it just doesn't work. I've hit a fuck ton of turrets on the same spot, and it works. Moving on, I guess a good way to wrap everything up would be to talk about the game narrative. The tapes you collect are played in a random order, so it's not uncommon to rehear a tape multiple times throughout multiple runs. I'll try to make a compact story summary, so bear with me. In the world of Receiver, most of humanity has died. The one behind this are an unknown menace called the Threat. It's unclear who they are and what they are, but they fear a human because they can achieve a state of awakeness. Think of it as like reaching enlightenment or transcendence between realities. There are two realities, A and B. A is the real world where your body is asleep, and B is where your mind projects a physical shadow or something. The game implies a third dimension, but it's just a fun jab at the fourth wall. So the Threat has been using corroding media to weaken the minds and bodies of humans. They'd already checked with the current social network environment, ironically. After that, they used the so-called mind kill to wipe out humanity. Things didn't turn out well. Few humans called Receiver survived the mind kill, and this is where the game starts. You're currently stuck in Reality B, which as I already said looks like an early 3D drum and bass CDR. The Threat doesn't reside in this reality, so they must use drones to deal with you. To achieve an awakened state, you must speak and listen to all the 11 tapes in game. What happens when you pick up the 11th tape? Spoiler warning by the way, the screen flashes white, you get to see some promotional materials like the tapes, some extra bit of lore regarding in-world tech, and you get prompted to Awakening. Awakening just closes the game, implying you have reached enlightenment, escaped Reality B and joined the other awakened receivers in the fight against the Threat on their turf. Probably, I actually ain't sure. So that was the story, but didn't I say they added workshop support? You can have a lot of new weapons, and even some map tileset now. Hell, someone added a fully functional shotgun and a bolt-action rifle. They also added this thing that shoots foam. It does weird things to drone and makes them spasm like crazy. So that was Receiver. For being a low budget game, it has a really well fleshed out and compelling gameplay. But you can find it dirt cheap on sales. Hopefully the workshop will pump some extra lifeblood into it to make it more worth firing up from time to time. Whatever the outcome, I thank you for watching. I usually don't say that, but if you... Please subscribe, please. Yeah, if you do that, that would be nice.